O ano, Pinky, bumilib ka na naman dito kay Senator Alan Peter Cayetano. Yan ang sinasabi ko sa'yo. Pagka hindi ka nagpapakaaso, pwede mong sabihin yung mga gusto mong sabihin. Pero pagka ikaw ipigil dahil aso ka nga naman ni Marcos Jr. at ni Martin Romualdez, lahat na lang ng gagawin mong galaw dyan sa Senado, dapat laging pabor doon sa mga amo mo. Dito sa video na to, nakuli ng paso ho nitong si Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, itong si Win Gatchalian, ito ang mga maiinit na kaganapan dyan sa Senado ngayong araw. Pero bago yan, isang like at isang subscribe, masaya na ho tayo dyan, at sa mga gusto sumali sa ating community, yung join button, nandyan lang ho sa baba. Wala ho tayong maraming pag-uusapan dito sa video na to. Balagbag, Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, panoorin ho natin ang kanyang pagtatanong dito kay Win Gatchalian, isa sa mga aso nitong si Marcos Jr. Dahil nga naman ho mga kababayan, yung kapatid niyang si Win Gatchalian, yung si Rex Gatchalian na sekretary ng DSWD, talaga namang lahat ng gusto ng mangyari ng administrasyon pagdating sa finance, wala akong makakapatpalag dyan. Anak ng toko, kapatid niya, sekretary nitong si Marcos Jr. Kaya wag na ho kayong umasa na magiging makabuluhan yung budget na yan sa 2026. Ito, panoorin natin mga kababayan. Game!
The amendments that were aforementioned are deemed submitted for consideration of the body. Thank you, Senator Lacson.
Majority Leader.
Ako, matindi to.
We recognize, Mr. President, our distinguished Minority Floor Leader, Senator Alan Peter Cayetano.
The Minority Leader, Senator Alan Cayetano, is recognized.
Mr. President, before the amendments, may I just manifest in behalf of the minority, and of course, we hope the majority will adopt that the process we're now adopting will not be a precedent sa pag-a-amend, because actually sa period of amendment usually dapat accepted or not and then may botohan. But of course, extraordinary times, we want to make sure that maganda yung proseso, sistema. It's not only the end result, the process is important. So yung transparency. And we do not want a reenacted budget given the time frame. So how do I put it? This is the best that we can do for this year. And hopefully next year, the chairman will again come up with innovative processes and devices to make sure that effective pero transparent din yung budget. So I just wanted to make sure na this is not a precedent for other bills, especially if the bills are not 1,000, 1,500 pages. Secondly, we still expect a clean copy, in the same manner that we expected a clean session hall despite the fact na nagkaroon ng sunog and buti na lang po minimal yung damage. But of course, we will accept a summary. Ang point lang naman is that klaro po anong pinagbobotohan natin, Mr. Chair, if that's acceptable. It's a manifestation, but it's together with the appreciation for all the hard work that Chair Gatchalian has been doing.
Thank you to our Minority Leader. At tama ho kayo. This is in response to the call for transparency at first time ho ginawa natin to on plenary at kaya ho may mga bagay na we're still adjusting to, and we're open to suggestions from the members, especially to our Minority Leader who's naging speaker siya at naging member of the Senate, so marami siyang experience pagdating sa ganito. So we're very open to coming up with more innovative processes. At papasalamat, if you brought this up, papasalamat din po ako sa ating Senate President dahil kala ko hindi matutuloy today dahil nga nagkaroon ng aksidente kahapon. Today is a holiday actually in Pasay. So I'd like to thank the body that despite the holiday, we came in to present our amendments and move forward with the budget. So maraming salamat, Minority Leader.
Thank you. In that sense, Mr. President, hindi perfecto yung sistema kasi kung lahat ng gusto natin ng 24 senador, lahat ng amendments, hindi talaga tayo matatapos kasi this is more than 500, 600 pages. All of us want certain special provisions. So I guess we all self-governance, no? We're all imposing upon ourselves to limit the broad strokes, and then like personally, I'd like the chairman to consider. I think 6-7 lang naman agencies ako nag-interpolate, pero may mga suggestions doon. It's on the record naman. At yung iba doon, tinulak naman ng senador, so he to consider that. And then some of us, of course, wrote a letter to the chairman, so consider. But let me go to the main point. Sir President, I remember parati natin binabanggit na with great power comes great responsibility. And we all agree with that, no? In the same manner, pag may crisis, may opportunity talaga.
Yan.
So yes, the outrage is there. I don't know how to say it na hindi nagmumura sa nangyari sa ating bansa. Hindi lang sa corruption pero sa ghost projects and you know, and how did we get here, diba? We all ask that. But with that outrage, it's not a simple call to do one or two things, diba? Hindi lang ibalik ang pera, hindi lang ikulong ang korap. Kasama din dyan yung tunay na pagbabago, transformation, diba? Change that leads to real transformation. So every single budget has to have a vision.
Yan.
And for example, sa DPWH, nag-start yung vision kay Duterte, build. Kay President Marcos, build better, more, no? So the point I want to make is that dahil napaka-extraordinary ng circumstance, ng atmosphere, ng problema, dapat game changer din yung budget. Again, hindi tayo matatapos kung isa-isahin natin at I want to acknowledge si Chairman Win mismo, may mga innovations na gusto, but as he said, may limitations, whether by law, whether by practice, whether by fiscal space, no? So I want to mention three areas that I think are game changers. And if we look at the past, di ba? It is only humbling if we listen. If we look at the past and sabi nga ni Einstein, just keep doing the same thing, insanity yun. If we keep doing the same thing, then expect a different result, insanity yun, di ba? So kung sasabihin natin, dati may corruption, ngayon lumaki. Kasi if we keep doing the same thing, di lalong lalaki at mangyayari talaga ito. So, for example, Mr. President, no, Mr. President, can I show some slides? 4 lang naman to, no? Mr. President, with your permission, Mr. Chairman, no? So, I think apektado din nung tubig. So what the slide will show actually is the population density, people per square, inhabitants per square kilometer in accordance with the 2020 census. Makikita niyo po yung NCR, 21,765. Ang pinakamalapit na is Region 4A, 977 lang. So can you imagine that? From 21,000 inhabitants per square kilometer to 977. Then the third is Region 3, it's 567. And then ang pinakamaliit is CAR, 1991. Ayan yung chart, no? So the point I want to make here, Mr. Chair, is that one of the root of our problems is rapid urbanization. Diba yung lumilipat lahat. Can I show the next slide? So makikita niyo po, napakaliit na lugar, Region 3, Metro Manila, Calabarzon, compared to the whole area of the Philippines, 39% of our population, nandiyan lang sa maliit na lugar na yan. So whether you talk about health, whether you talk about sanitation, water, electricity, traffic, yan ang isang cause. So kahit anong gawa mo pa ng kalye dyan, trains are better, pero kahit gumawa ka ng train, kahit anong flood control mo, if we continue doing this, hindi magbabago. Which goes to the second game changer. So the first game changer is rural development. Diba? Rural development ang gamit nila before. Let me just use that term. Very simple. Tubig, kuryente, internet, schools, and hospitals. Of course, jobs. If you have those 5 things plus jobs in the rural areas, hindi lahat magsisiksikan sa Metro Cebu, Metro Manila, Calabarzon, Bulacan, sa mga highly urbanized cities, di ba? So sa Europe, pag sinabi mong rural, may kuryente, may tubig, may internet, may ecotourism, may agritourism, etc. So it's a choice. Do you want the crowded city or you want the rural? Sa Pilipinas, pag sinabi mong urban, mayaman, may libreng gamot dyan, may scholarships dyan, aircon yung ibang schools. Pero pag rural, kahirapan. So we have to change that. So which goes to my second point, the local government have shown themselves, and I recognize the representatives that are here today, di ba, the mayors, the governors, hanggang sa barangay captains, hindi naman sa walang corrupt sa local government. Pero kung yung pera ng flood control napunta sa local government, malabong magkaroon ng ghost
Yan.
o malabong ganong kalaki yung ghost. Pangalawa, malabong magkaroon ng mismatch sa gagastusan sa pangangailangan. Yes, may pamumulitika whether it's on the national, local government, but the reality is mas alam ng local government yung kanilang kailangan. So that's the second area na may malaki akong propose na amendment. And the third area is stunting o yung pagkabansot, di ba? Kasi kahit maayos natin ang pinakamagandang budget, libre lahat ng education from kindergarten to college, kung stunted na hindi lang yung growth but yung mental may mental stunting na, wala na siyang gagawin sa scholarship na college eh. Ganon din sa health. You can have the best health system, anti-cancer, lahat ng pinakamagagandang hospital, tertiary. Pero kung stunted na yung bata, limited na yung pwede niyang gawin, no? So the first, can I go to the next slide? So the first amendment, Mr. President, is dun sa 200 plus billion plus the 50 billion na tinanggal ng House at saka ng Senate sa DPWH. Idiretso na natin sa mga provinces, cities, and municipalities. If we give 1 billion per province, that's 82 billion, 500 million for the 149 highly urbanized cities, and 50 million for the 1,500, a little bit over, municipalities, that's only 231 billion. May matitira pa na 7 billion. So I know this is a radical proposal, but it also is a game changer. So I do know, Mr. Chairman, that we have allocated the 300 billion. No? The House has allocated the 260 ba? 255?
Mga 140.
But since we are only considering it, may I submit this to the chairman for the consideration of the committee? If not this year, I'm hoping this year, but if not, we will consider it in the future, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Alan. At napag-usapan ho natin to during the plenary debate, especially the stunting, and you've been very consistent. Lahat po ng agency na pwedeng magresolba ng stunting ay pinapaalala ninyo na dapat ito ay bigyan ng pansin. No? Dahil tama kayo, kasi pag lumampas po sila ng 4 years old, 5 years old, stunted sila, mas mahihirapan na sila mag-aral. So I really appreciate your efforts in solving this. In fact, this is an EDCOM proposal to resolve our malnutrition and stunting issue. So your proposal are deemed submitted for the consideration of the body, and we will definitely look at this very seriously.
Thanks for the acknowledgement. I appreciate it, Mr. Chair, but actually, pare-pareho naman tayong spokesman lang dito. No?
Yeah.
May mga NGOs talaga at saka
Tama,
mga
okay.
champions who've been fighting for it for such a long time. I think Senator P has a list of those health advocates. But you know, it's a privilege to be able to push for it. And I must admit that sa daming chairman ng appropriation sa House at sa Finance, no, you've really given me the full attention on this issue. So I have smaller amendments there. I think Senator Pia is standing. May I will yield some.
If with the permission of the two gentlemen, just two very quick items to add to the discussion. Regarding the population density that Senator Alan showed us, just to put on record that following the Sustainable Development Goals, the data tells us that by the year 2050, 2/3 of the population will be living in cities. So I go back to your proposal, and as His Honor had said, he defers to the chairman when and how how much time it will be needed to take a look at these numbers, to consider these things, because 2/3 of the population. So in as much as we want to support everyone from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, all over, but 2/3 of the population by 2050, and currently 55% are said to be living in the major cities. So it's not just NCR, it's the major cities all over the country. That's my first point. My second point regarding stunting, I just want to inform His Honor because I also support the issue on stunting. Stunted growth is largely irreversible after the first 1,000 days. So the first 1,000 days is so important. And for the information of the body, uunahan ko na si Chairman, he supported our amendment. It is also his amendment, so there's many of us who support it. The Chairman added 900 million to, I think, practically double the amount that is given to mothers in the first 1,000 days. From 350 pesos, it's just 350 pesos a month. So if you wonder why are they stunted,
Yeah.
I don't really know that you can seriously affect stunting with 350 pesos a day. That's 10 pesos a day. So, but now with this additional funding, it will grow to 750 pesos a day. Inunahan na kita,
Yeah, 1
Mr.
KD.
Chairman.
I think the program is called 1 KD. F1KD.
Yes.
Yeah.
Under Pantawid Pamilya pa rin yan.
So, Mr. Chairman, quick slides lang sa stunting. Can you go to the first slide? So, pag tinignan natin prevalence, meaning hindi lang ito yung potential, ito talaga yung mangyayari. It's higher than 25%. It's 27%. At yun ang sinabi ng DOH at saka ng mga official, no? Pero meron kaming interactive map na web-based. Hindi ko na papakita today because of lack of time, but it's really higher than 27%. Having said that, that's 1 out of 4 of Filipinos, di ba? So are we willing that 20 years from now, 30 years from now, di ba? So kung 0 to 1,000, di ba? Yung ngayon, the next 3 years, are we willing that 18 years from now, 21 years from now, yung young adults natin, 1 out of 4 of them cannot reach their full potential because of this? Next slide.
Malaking problema ho yan.
So,
Malaking problema ho yung stunting na yan, mga kababayan, kasi diyan yung ika nga diyan nagde-develop talaga yung yung mga bata, no. Pagka yung hindi ho nabigay yung tamang pangangailangan ng mga bata sa ganyang edad, kahit na lumaki na ho yan, mahirap na umintindi. Mahirap na umintindi, no, sa bagay, no. Sabagay, no, mas mahirap umintindi yung mga hindi na stunting, yung mga matatangkad na nag-aral sa mga magagandang universidad. Hindi nga sila nag-stunting, nagnakaw naman yung mga naging engineer, naging doktor, yung mga nasa pamahalaan, yung mga ang tawag dito, mga administrator, yung mga korsina, di ba? Yung mga nag-UP, di ba? Hindi nga sila nag-stunting nung nakapasok sa pamahalaan. Yun, nagnakaw naman ng...
the proposal sa amendments, Mr. Chairman, as Senator P has said, as all the experts have said, as you yourself has said, di ba, na you're willing to, Sec Sani has also said, Sec Rex, you're willing to put money, you're willing to spend, pero kailangan effective. So, hindi natin pinopropose wild amounts of 50 billion, 100 billion, kung hindi natin sure, no? Pero sa mga lugar na to, Barm, Soc-Sargent, Zamboanga Peninsula, Mimaropa, and Davao Region, Davao lang yung below 30 pero more or less nasa 30. I'd like to propose yung hindi na pondohan sa DOH na 2.4 billion ay lagyan ng amount, but because nga of certain doubts on the effectivity of DOH doing it alone, let's say if you put 3 billion, I'd rather that 1 billion be in LGSF, 1 billion be in DSWD, 1 billion in DOH, or if it's 3 billion, if it's 1.5 billion, that take 500 million, one program pa rin, pero different yung sources ng pagkukunan. Ang maganda sa LGSF, mahigpit yung guidelines, tapos yung mayor ang diretsong governor o kukuha, di ba? Ang maganda naman sa DSWD, medyo kuwang-kuwa na ni Secrex yung whether it's sa AIX, di ba? Kasi, I mean, I don't know officially now, but we should consider those in danger of stunting to be in crisis, di ba? Oo. So, that's one amendment. Just one last slide there, then I'll move on. Ano yung last slide dyan? So, yung yes, 0 to 5 years old, pero makikita mo yung dalawang 0 to 5 years old, tapos pinaka-importante, first 1,000 days. Dalawang nakikita ko sa chart na to, ano? Yung pagka nabuntis na. So, as soon as, well, sana alam niya na kagad, nabuntis siya, because the sooner na alam niya buntis siya and she goes to the health center and may prenatal and everything, di ba? Mas alaga yung nanay at mas alaga yung anak. So, but makikita mo, 0 to 5 years old, 23%. So, 0 to 5 months, 15%. Half of the, yung danger na 30%. But makikita mo, from 6 to 11 months, bumababa nga eh. So, mukhang yung ating barangay health workers, yung ating nutrition scholars, yung ating barangay, yung DOH, at saka yung mga cities, municipalities, yung health centers are doing their job. But pagdating sa 1 to 2 years old, 30% biglang tumataas. So nutrition is the major factor there. May I ask quickly lang, more or less, magkano ang AIX at saka tupad?
20, 27. Tupad. 27. Tupad. Ang sa AIX po, it's 27 billion. Ang tupad po is 10 billion.
So more or less 40 billion, no?
30, yeah, more or less.
Because sa LEDAC, I'm not sure, please correct me, I think you were there, Mr. Chair, when we had one LEDAC and Senator JV was really pushing for a 3,000 per month para sa barangay health workers.
Yes, I remember.
And ang total is somewhere 9B. The DBM promised us or the NEDA promised us na titignan nila yung AIX at tupad kasi ang tingin nila a part of AIX tupad already goes to barangay health workers because volunteers sila. So
category.
please consider a special provision that 20% ng tupad at AIX goes to barangay health workers. That will fulfill 8 of the 9 billion. May monthly na sila. And with the monthly, it's still very small, 3 billion, di ba? Ang isang concern ng executive department dito is that ang daming volunteers sa barangay, hindi ba lahat ng volunteers will be asking for sweldo? But when I dug deeper into the stunting, ang kaibahan naman kasi, for example, tanod, mostly volunteer. Of course, peace and order is important. Pero may swelduhan tayong police. May swelduhan tayong NBI. May swelduhan tayo sa mga munisipyo na poso, di ba? Pero sa grassroots level, walang swelduhan pagdating sa nutrition at saka sa pagtitimbang sa mga bata, pag-i-inform sa mga nanay, etc. No? And as a former mayor, and there are several former executive, Senator Jinggoy, Senator JV were former mayors. Senator Soto, our Senate President, was a former vice mayor. I was a former vice mayor. Sila talaga yung nasa grassroots eh. So I think kung bibigyan talaga natin minimum allowance pero kung pwede nga sweldo, I think it will magkakadent talaga sa stunting.
Yeah.
So may I ask you to consider those two amendments na one, yung to have part of AIX and tupad so that it's not a new product, not a new program.
Yeah.
So either we increase tupad by another 9 billion and it goes to the health workers, or 20% of the existing is to the health workers, no? So the other amendment is yung magkaroon ng pondo, DOH, LGSF, DSWD, maybe sa LGSF pwedeng konting equipment din para sa barangay health workers kung kulang sila sa mga modern equipment para magbahay-bahay, lalo po sa mga pregnant.
May nagte-take note.
So Mr. President, yun lang yung aking major, kung major na amendments. Can I quickly go to some that are important but not necessarily major? Before I left as speaker, actually nasa committee report to pero napalitan. Camp Development Fund, 10 billion for, at that time, 5 billion nilagay namin. 10 billion for AFP, 10 billion for PNP. Right now, may konti sila sa DPWH, but usually they depend on the congressman or the governor mayor to help them. So, marami sa mga kampo, may informal settlers o kaya hindi na fully utilized. Pero kung bibigyan natin ng lump sum, pwedeng may annex din, katulad ng HPEP, ang police at saka AFP. And if it's yearly, maplaplano nila in the next 5 years kung paano lang mapapaganda yung kampo. This is not only for security, kasama na dito yung para sa kanilang physical well-being, mental well-being. It could also be for clinics. It could also be, you know, for example, when you go to Camp John Hay, di ba? May golf course, may bowling, may Protestant church, may Muslim mosque, may evangelical churches, may officers club and everything. So, sa Pilipinas, hinihintay ng mga anak na yung police at saka militar umuwi. Sa mga US bases, gusto nga nilang bumisita sa kampo kung hindi sila doon nakatira kasi lahat ng facilities na sa kampo. So we have several camps all over the Philippines that are beautiful pero walang pondo pang gawa. So may please consider that.
May na-allocate tayo, Senator, Minority Leader, Senator Alan, about 2.7 billion for various repairs ng mga barracks nila, mga covered court inside the camp. But admittedly, in 3 billion.
Those are very important. Pero realistically, repairs, etc., it doesn't really develop, it fixes it up. No?
Ano lang for yung
Yes.
regular
I
maintenance.
personally, in the past, sa Camp Bagong Diwa, napakarami kasi may jail, but I don't usually help there. Mostly sa drug rehab and sa SAF. And then now, meron na crime lab. Usually naman, pag sinimulan mo, itutuloy-tuloy ng DPWH.
Yeah.
Pero I think if it's a lump sum, kung hindi kayang 10 billion, 1 billion, 2 billion, but if it's a lump sum and ang magplaplano nito ay hindi DPWH kung hindi yung mismong commanders, di ba? Which goes kasi to my next amendment. I proposed this during when I was Secretary of Foreign Affairs, na yung ating mga engineering brigades sa military, I think specifically sa Army, bigyan ng equipment para by administration ang gawin ng mga project kasi maganda ng civil relation, anti-insurgency. Tapos ngayon kasi by contract, nakakalimutan natin na meron din by administration.
Yeah.
No? Isabay ko na rin, Senwin, kasi ang proposal, one, bumili ng mga dredging machines ang DPWH at ipagamit to sa mga mayor at governors para anti-flood. Pero mas makakamura ang DPWH kasi yung maintenance at saka yung tao pwedeng sa ano kasi by administration. Same thing, if we buy the right equipment for the engineering brigades ng military, they can use it. So actually, China gave us equipment. Unfortunately, binigay sa DPWH instead of they kept it sa engineering brigade. So the chief of staff told me they have 4 or 5 ata, pero yung isa gagawin nilang combat engineering. So may actual silang 4 eh. So nabanggit na may ghost project sa AFP, hindi sila yung gumawa. But can you imagine kung may pondo for materials, for training for their engineers, tapos may equipment sila. So may I submit this proposed amendment?
Tama ho kayo dahil also marami na ring agencies requesting in their special provision to allow them to tap into the military engineering brigade, for example, FMR roads, classrooms, kasi ayaw nila matali lang sa DPWH. So this bodes well to those mga proposals ng agency.
And Mr. Chair, Mr. President, it will bring the military closer to the grassroots. But at the same time, it will attract engineers. Di ba kung gusto mo sa gobyerno, usually DOTR, DPWH, maybe some other agencies, but yung iba gusto mag-militar din eh.
Yep.
So in the same manner that we tried to attract sa JAGO at sa medical, di ba, doctors, lawyers, pagka in-equip natin yung mga engineering brigades, it will attract professionals or young people who want to be engineers but also want to be in the military.
Correct. Tama.
I didn't consult yung police, pero kung meron din engineering brigade ang police, then why not, di ba?
Yeah. Alam ko military lang yata ang
Yeah.
ganyan talagang organized.
On that same matter, Mr. President, umuo dito yung Coast Guard. Hindi ko natanong yung military, hindi ako napagtanong sa military. 1 billion each for floating hospitals. Ipapasok pa nila sa sa foreign, sa I'm not sure if it's ODA or a grant, di ba? But 1 billion pesos, we can spend 1 billion pesos. 1 billion pesos for one floating hospital, given that we're an archipelago and given that we are always in danger. Kung hindi pwedeng dalawa kaagad, isa sa Coast Guard, isa sa military, then one of the two of them. If I'm not mistaken, yes, go ahead, please, Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, maybe not just us to buy brand new, Mr. President, with the permission of the two gentlemen, even if it's not to buy a brand new ship, because the Red Cross donated remember the boat that they had, Save Grace?
Amazing Grace.
Amazing Grace, yeah.
Amazing Grace.
So the Red Cross donated a nice ship to, it was actually from the U.S. military, donated to the Philippine Red Cross, and the Red Cross donated it to the Coast Guard. That needs refurbishing. That's a hospital ship. So maybe the terminology, kung accept ni Chairman, is either brand new or repair of existing hospital ships.
Or sa compromise, di ba?
Yes.
One new one, then refurbishment. But, you know, if we did this in the 2020 budget, na-deliver na to ngayon, sayang, di ba? So, next, Mr. President, inamin to ng DOTR, itatali ko lang dun sa pagiging dependent sa foreign aid or sa concessional loans, no? Inamin ng DOTR na ready na sila for phase 1 of the Mindanao Railway System. And we all agree, our majority leaders from Mindanao, Senator Pia brought up sustainability, nakita niyo yung density and everything. Because like Luzon, Mindanao, at least a big part of Mindanao is one island. Of course, there are several smaller islands. Naghihintay, kompleto na to, feasibility study, actually meron na silang mga ibang work on the ground, yung sa right of way. So sabi nila for 10 billion, mauumpisa na nila. At kung sakali man papasok to, let's say sa Japanese, we still have to put up anyway 25%, 25B local counterpart. So parang advance to. Kung hindi man advance, kung ituloy-tuloy na natin in the future, 100B for perspective, 100B is only the subsidy that we plan for the Metro Manila subway every year. So when the Metro Manila subway was planned, between 90 to 100B ang subsidy for the first few years until it becomes very profitable. So can you imagine if we can do the first part nung Mindanao Railway na funded ng Pilipino para sa Pilipino, it also sends a good message to the Chinese, the Japanese, the Koreans, the Australians that thank you, we appreciate your support, we appreciate the ODA and everything, but we're also beginning to do our own work. Kasi kung ganon, yung isa ko kasi sanang gustong special provision din pag yung mga ODA ganyan, kailangan may technology transfer Kasi despite the fact na malapit na tayo maging
upper
middle class, we still act like beggars Di ba? Kasi sabi nila, pag humihingi ka lang, tumatawad ka, beggars cannot be choosers. Di ba? And nadali na tayo ng World Bank at saka ng IMF in the 60s and 70s. They did a lot of good, but they also did a lot of damage to many third world countries at usually walang technology transfer. One reason China is what it is today because they demanded na pag may investment sa country nila, may technology transfer. I mean, US is US today because also of technology transfer from the UK, no? So going to the next, yes, every peso counts. So I do much appreciate the work of additional funds sa DepEd. This is just a manifestation, not an amendment, not a special provision. Until the time that we decide, we have to decide, kailangan decisive tayo. Will we go back to K-10 or will we fully fund K-12? Diba? So, it's like a bike Diba? Do we repair the dike and make it fully functional, or do we find another engineering intervention? Pero yung may butas ang dike at nilalagay lang natin daliri natin, kahit sinasabi natin thank you, 24 tayong senador na may daliri doon, it's still a daliri sa butas. So 70 billion additional, 80 billion additional is no joke. And I congratulate everyone who worked on that. Senator Bam, yourself, the other senators, no, Senator Joel sa TESDA. But really, we have to decide whether K-12 or K-10 muna, then mag-K-12 pag kaya na natin, or itodo natin yung funding. Next, ang isang malaking tumutulong sa values, hindi lang DepEd at saka kindergarten, college. Of course, churches, but it's really television. Of course, social media. So, may I ask Mr. President, Mr. Chair, if we can put some money on MTRCB, a small amount, 25-50 million, not too small, for a value orientation program. I've been admiring from afar MTRCB, but ang nangyayari, nakakapagsalita lang sila pag may film na maganda o may film or telenovela na pangit ang values or maganda values, tapos nasa TV sila. But if we give them a small amount, they might be creative, whether sa SOCMED or commercials or infomercials about values. And this is, for me, part of the appreciation to the work that the chairperson and MTRCB are doing. Small amount, pero like anti-corruption, it's really values eh. Diba? Anti-abortion, values yan eh. Yung pamilya, mabuo at wag magkahiwalay yung asawa at mag-asawa. Values yan eh. So I hope we can put a small amount sa MTRCB. I'm 100% will put good use to it. No?
Minority Leader, magaling po yung MTRCB dahil may pinagmanahan po ang ating Senate President.
Well, kung ano ang puno, yun din ang bunga. Di ba? So, okay, state universities, Mr. President, in the same manner that we have to decide whether K-12 o K-10. Again, ulitin ko I'm not saying mag K-10. Ang sinasabi ko, kung hindi natin fully fund ang K-12, mas mabuti pang K-10. Rather than ngayon, we expect 12 to 9 years education, pero actual 7.5 years lang ang education. Ganon din sa state universities. I won't go to the history. All of us know here the history, paano nagkaroon ng libreng edukasyon. It was a series of compromise, and it's good. Pero punong-puno na yung mga state universities, especially after the pandemic. And then kung titignan mo yung unit cost, mababa na talaga eh. So for me, Mr. Chairman, the right amendment is really paano tayo bumalik sa tamang market prices of education and bigyan ng tamang pondo yung state university. So 2 amendments sa state universities. That's one. And I leave it up to you where, but I think you know better than me. Yep. Yung sinasabi ko nga yung per unit, katulad sa PUP, napakababa na talaga. The second one is yung facilities nila. In the same manner that we have the Rojas Law, and we're now going to restart yung pagbibigay ng school buildings, and in the same manner that I have proposed na sana lagyan natin ng Camp Development Fund, sana may infrastructure fund yung state universities, pero basta't makapagbigay ng master plan o master development plan, may allotment for each and every one. Kasi kung hindi, nangyayari, kanya-kanyang lakad, kanya-kanyang lapit sa governor, sa foreign funding, sa congressman, sa senador. So, yes, for example, myself, over the years, and even this year, I might propose some amendments sa DPWH State U or diretso na sa State U. Pero kung may development fund for them, whether it's 10, 20, 5 billion, ang point ko lang, Mr. President, if we can start an amount, so let's say I say dapat 25B kasi mahigit 100. But you say there's no fiscal space. So be it. Let's start with 2.5B. Let's start with 1B. And if it has to be 500 million sa rural, 500 million dun sa pinakamarami, or kaya pwedeng sino ba ang basta't meron tayong rating system na reliable, na maganda, o if you meet these requirements, makakakuha ka sa development fund. I'm talking about an infrastructure development fund nung mga, and also for equipment, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. And yung mga recommendations po ni Senator Kiko, Senator JV, Senator Marcoleta, Senator Pia, na magdagdag po ng pondo sa mga SUCs ho natin na ilagay naman ho natin sa committee report.
And to be fair, yung iba are more progressive than others.
Yes.
So meron na silang not only a master plan program of work, but maganda din kasing training sa lahat. More than 100 state use and several campuses na parang, ang CHED may 5 billion development fund. Pero ito requirement. May master plan kayo, may ganito, may program of work. So nag-aagawan ka sa pag-apply nung pondo na yon, di ba? Kasi kung hindi, it really also depends on sino nalalapitan mo, di ba? Imagine if the chairman of the Committee on Finance was also the chairperson of CHED sa committee. Siyempre, may natural bias ka doon, di ba? The same manner kung DOH ang hawak mo. The last item sa OFWs natin, sa Department of Migrant Workers, no? Katulad na pag-usapan po during the committee level, a big part of their job is diplomacy. Or to put it straightforward is PR. Di ba yung the Middle Eastern countries, they love us. They love Filipinos. You talk about Bahrain, Qatar, talk about Saudi Arabia, di ba? And katulad ngayon, yung kafala system, di ba? Finally, tinapos nila. But it takes a little bit of puhunan or capital or seed money. So an amount between 25 to 50 million would be a big help. I think Senator Villanueva has more exhaustive amendments sa TESDA and sa migrant workers, no. So the rest, as I said, butin tayo hanggang bukas kung babasahin ko isa-isa. I wrote a letter to the committee, and then aside from that, there's 1 or 2 points lang sa 6 departments. So whatever we can consider, Mr. President, we would appreciate. Thank you very much.
Maraming
Mr.
salamat,
President.
Minority Leader. And
Ayun na nga mga kababayan, dito na natatapusin ang ating reaction video. Maraming salamat sa pag-support sa PH Update. Mag-ingat po kayong lahat. Mahal natin Pilipinas.